With Edison format a distant memory, we now continue on our journey throughout the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Shining Darkness was released on May 10th, 2010. This set introduced a plethora of powerful new cards into the game, such as Ronin Totem and Herald of Perfection, support for the already strong X-Saber archetype in Bogart Knight and Dark Soul, and a brand new archetype that would push the concept of combo decks to its limits, Infernity. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CMO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Well, farewell to Edison format, and hello to the Shining Darkness. What you're seeing in front of you is Infernity. More specifically, it is Stephen Harris's second place build from the Washington, D.C. Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series held on June 17th of 2010, and this is the first format I would feel comfortable calling a combo format. Previously, decks usually won through wars of attrition, one deck eventually coming ahead, with a couple of outliers. In this format, multiple decks summon a whole bunch of monsters in one turn. It is the closest approximation to modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That existed in 2010, and to this day, it's staggering what these decks can accomplish. This one was no exception to that rule. Infernity is extremely powerful and emboldened by a lot of really good cards that came out in the most recent set. Now, the Shining Darkness is notable for a ton of reasons. It contains Ronin Totem and would eventually be responsible for Frog FTK. It contains X-Saber support, which would eventually be responsible for that deck's functional destruction of the format. And of course, it contains some material for Infernity as well. These cards represent the core of a really powerful synchro spam deck that would absolutely wallop anyone who was unprepared for it. That said, people going into the Washington, D.C. Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series were very much prepared for it. Hate for this deck was everywhere, be it in side decks or main decks. People played DD Crow, Crevice into a different dimension. Consecrated Light is a near staple in sideboards at this time, and boy oh boy is that card almost impossible for this deck to out. Regardless, the deck did put up a fantastic result at this tournament, taking a ton of slots in the top 32 alongside XX Saber, Gladiator Beast, and Gadgets. These four decks formed the backbone of this specific tournament, but not all of them would make it to the next month of competition. So let's go through the individual cards and I'll try and give you a sense of what this deck is trying to do. First, the normal cards. We've got DD Crow, Gores, and Dark Grepher. Dark Grepher, of course, a very good enabler in any dark deck. This one a little less powerful than most because you don't really want to be normal summoning it too badly, but you have no way to really cheat it out outside of pitching a Gores. We've got Double Book of Moon, fantastic way to beat Consecrated Light and also potentially protect a tuner that you absolutely need. Brain Control, Foolish Burial, Giant Trunade, Heavy Storm, Mystical Space Typhoon. 1-for-1, we do have 1-star monsters in the deck. Compulse, Dust Tornado, Solemn Judgment, Starlight Road, Torrential Tribute, and Trap Dust Shoot. Now, what makes this deck different is its archetypal monster lineup. First up is Infernity Archfiend. Now, all of the Infernity cards get extra effects if you have no cards in your hand, so it plays a significant number of cards like Dark Grepher to enable that game plan. Archfiend, if you have no cards in your hand, when it is special summoned, can add an Infernity card from your deck to your hand. It can also special summon itself if you draw it while you have no other cards. Infernity Beetle is a card that was eventually cut, I believe, from Infernity lists, but at the time it was still very much playable. It is an insect tuner that, if you have no cards in your hand, allows you to tribute itself to special summon up to 2 additional Infernity Beetles from your hand or deck. Think of it as a proto-Deep-Sea Diva, sort of. Infernity Mirage is a really strong card. Can't be special summoned from the graveyard, but if you have no cards in your hand, you can tribute this card, then target 2 Infernity monsters in the graveyard, special summon them. Infernity Necromancer allows you to target an Infernity monster in your graveyard except for Necromancer and special summon it. Infernity Avenger is a 1-star tuner, and Plague Spreader Zombies in here as well. For spells, Infernity Launcher is where it's at. You can send 1 Infernity monster from your hand to the graveyard once per turn. That's just the effect. you could just send a card from your hand to the graveyard. It's a great way to empty out your grip. And then, as a separate effect, you can activate this even if you haven't activated the first one. You can send this card to the graveyard, then target 2 Infernity monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. Now, usually you'd be getting at least 1 copy of Infernity Archfiend, which would get you, big surprise, another copy of Infernity Launcher. An incredibly, incredibly powerful resource loop that eventually led to the limiting of this card. Now, you have to have no cards in your hand to activate and to resolve this effect. Eventually, you would end on searching copies of Infernity Barrier. Now, at the time, people only played 1 copy of this, but pretty soon they realized that triple Infernity Barrier back row was pretty much the best thing you could be doing. It is an Omni-Negate, provided you have an Infernity monster and no cards in hand. Infernity Inferno is a great way to empty your hand, but this has got to be the worst card that's ever been part of a Tier 1 deck. In the extra, because we are primarily a Synchro Spam deck, we have a huge swath of Synchros. We've got Catastor, we can Armory Arm plus Colossal Fighter combo. We've got Black Rose, we've got Brionac. Brionac is especially good in this deck because if you find yourself in a scenario where you have like an Infernity Beetle or an available Plague Spreader zombie, you can easily make this monster, empty out your hand, and then start triggering Archfiends. We have a Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, a Goyo Guardian, a 100 Eyes Dragon. This was a promo at the time, I believe. Allows you to banish a level 6 or lower Dark Effect monster from your graveyard. This monster's effect becomes that effect. Mirage can't be looped because it can't be special summoned from the graveyard, but its effect can be copied by 100 Eyes Dragon, which enables some further combo plays. Infernity Doom Dragon is fine, but importantly, it's a 3000 attack monster named Infernity, which means it is very hard for your opponent to out and will likely keep your barrier alive until the end of the turn. Magical Android is in here as well. The deck has a really easy time making Mistworm, and for that reason, we are playing 2 copies. It's like the early Trishula, way to bounce all of your opponent's cards and go for an OTK, a Red Dragon Archfiend, and double Stardust Dragon. Now, this extra deck would evolve as people labbed further combo lines with Infernity, but at the moment, this is what people were playing. In the side deck, we've got Rainbow, Overlord of Dark World. We've got Raikou, Lightsworn Hunter. Rainbow is in here for, I believe, the Gotham's Hand Loop. It allows you to blow up all monsters your opponent controls, and after they've already committed so much to Gotham's, it's a great way to equalize. Raikou is there to stop Consecrated Light and a bunch of traps that would give you pause. We've got Autonomous Action Unit, Lightning Vortex, Prohibition, Escape from the Dark Dimension, double Gotham's Emergency Call. Again, this card does not require you control X-Saber monsters or those X-Saber monsters be in your graveyard. Mind Crush, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, the Transmigration Prophecy, maybe a little better than Crevice, but certainly debatable, and double Threatening Roar. So, very excited to try this deck out. It's going to be a difficult one to pilot optimally. I hope you all can forgive me.
Fare thee well, Edison format. It was a fun month while it lasted, but of course, all good things must eventually come to an end. And at the end of every tunnel, there is a light, and in this case, it is, ironically, the Shining Darkness. The Shining Darkness officially brought an end to the Edison format, and now we find ourselves at a point in Yu-Gi-Oh's history where we go from this nice, diverse format to a format of about 2 decks. There's some other decks on the peripheral, but for all intents and purposes, it seems that around this time in Yu-Gi-Oh's history of May 2010, we were really just playing either X-Saber or Infernity. Now, there was other stuff like gadgets and some other decks lurking beneath the surface, but we will touch on those in later episodes. So I decided to take up the mantle and pilot X-Saber for this episode. Joseph piloted it a few episodes ago, but we have some new inclusions to the deck, and so let's go ahead and do the card by card. First up, we've got 2 copies of DD Crow. This is something that was becoming more and more standard at the time. There was a lot of graveyard-focused decks, and also there was a particular strategy that was becoming more and more prominent that people were wanting to have some hedge against, and so we'll talk about that a little bit later on. We've also got a Morphing Jar in here to reload our hand. We are playing a bit of a combo deck, and so when we do dump our hand, Morphing Jar can help refresh it, so that way we get a fresh 5 to go in again. Rescue Cat is still legal at this point. I don't know how, but Rescue Cat also has some new friends this time around that we are going to talk about momentarily. You remember the 3 X-Saber Airbellum from the previous episode? Just an absolute beast of a card, quite literally, but it's a tuner. It can rip cards out of the opponent's hand. This card is just a monster. We've got the 1 copy of Palomuro, the 2 copies of Bogard Knight for additional summons. We have 3 of the new XX Saber Dark Soul. Now, there's a lot to talk about with this card. This card reads, during the end phase, if this card was sent from your side of the field to the graveyard this turn, you can add 1 X-Saber monster from your deck to your your hand. Now, there wasn't necessarily a mistranslation with this card's effect, more so a misruling on how the rules worked before, prior to an errata, as a matter of fact. XX Saber Dark Soul, every time it went from the field to the graveyard, even if it was the same copy in the same turn, you would get a search. So you could take one of your Fall Trolls, which has the ability to resurrect level 4 lower X Sabers, special summon Dark Soul back to the field after it already went to the graveyard, send it off again for maybe a synchro summon or something like that, and then you are able to trigger it twice off of the same card. So this was one of the reasons that made X Saber such a powerful deck, being able to abuse Dark Soul in this way, and hopefully we get to do that against Joseph. It's also a level 3 beast, which is important because now with Rescue Cat, you can grab a tuner in Airbellum and a non-tuner in Dark Soul and go into a level 6 synchro play off of a single Rescue Cat. We'll talk about why that's important a little bit later on. 2 copies of Emmer's Blade, just great for getting to cards that we need, plus 3 Fall Troll. The number of Fall Trolls started to vary and actually lower as subsequent X Saber builds can be optimized, and so for now we're on 3 Fall Troll. This is very relevant though because this card is a house, allowing you to just continuously recur your monsters. 3 copies of XX Saber Full Helm Knight. This card is another tuner, which is fantastic because this deck desperately needed tuners, as we saw the previous time this deck was run. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, negate that attack, and this effect can only be used once while it's face up on the field. And if this card destroys an opponent's defense position monster by battle, you can target a level 4 or lower X Saber in your graveyard, special summon. This pairs very well with Book of Moon specifically, because not only can you blank their battle phase, but then Full Helm Knight can get in and actually generate you a plus. That way you can start going into synchro plays. The card's actually not that bad. And then lastly, for the monsters, we have the one and only Ragigura. Unfortunately, it is not as prominent as it used to be, but a 1 of this card is still not bad. For the spells, double Book of Moon, Brain Control. Cold Wave is just nasty in this deck. I mentioned the level 6 synchro play you can go into off of Rescue Cat. If you go Cold Wave and then Rescue Cat into a Airbellum and Dark Soul, you can go into a copy of Hyunlei, which can then nuke your opponent's back row, and Dark Soul will trigger since it's sent to the graveyard, which means you actually broke even on advantage in that exchange, aside from using the Cold Wave, of course, but you probably plussed because you nuked your opponent's back row with the Hyunlei, so that is just nasty that you're able to pull something like that off now thanks to Rescue Cat. That's why this card eventually gets banned. We also have a Foolish Burial, Giant Trunade, a Mind Control. The cards like Mind Control and Brain Control are good because we do have a lot of tuners to access now between the Full Helm Knights as well as the Airbellums. We've got a My Body as a Shield in here as well to protect our monsters. We have a Mystical Space Typhoon, a 1-for-1, and 2 copies of Upstart Goblin to play a 38 card deck. For the traps, double Dust Tornado, triple Gotham's Emergency Call, and a lone copy of Phoenix Wing Windblast. For the extra deck, we're playing a bunch of cards you've seen up until this point. We are playing the Colossal Fighter, Armory Arm shenanigans, and then we're playing some X Saber specific cards, although Airbellum's technically generic. We have the Airbellum. We've got 2 copies of Gotham's, which we can hand loop our opponent with if we're lucky enough to get enough copies of Fall Troll, and then we also have the Hyunlei as well, which is even easier to summon than ever. And then for the side deck, 2 copies of Consecrated Light. Neither player can normal or special summon dark monsters or declare an attack with a dark monster. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a dark monster. Also, you take no battle damage from that battle. Consecrated Light can just hose any dark focused decks, and with Joseph being on Infernity, maybe we will side this in. 2 Cyber Dragons for the Machina gadget decks running around, a Raikou to out annoying things that we can't otherwise take care of. 2 Thunder King Ryo for the decks that search a lot, such as Gadget and the like. We've also got a 3rd copy of Book of Moon and a 2nd copy of My Body as a Shield. Double Saber Slash. This card definitely did not see nearly as much play now as it did in the previous iterations when the X Saber cards were kind of struggling for playability. And then for the traps, we got 2 Bottomless, a Starlight Road, and a Transmigration Prophecy, another DD Crow-esque card of sorts. But guys, I am super excited to bring this to the table. This is going to be a lot of fun. Joseph and I are going to be playing some brand new decks, and I can't wait to see what happens. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel. Joseph, don't you already miss Edison format? Like, I don't want to take away from this episode, but I was sat down for us to record this today and thought, damn, I really just want to play some more Edison format.
I am going to miss it. Unfortunately, while this upcoming format may look diverse to the untrained eye, it's diverse in the same way that, like, Secret Slayer's format was diverse. Like, yes,
yeah,
you can play a ton of different flavors of monsters, but yes, they are all going to give you an aneurysm.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a seismic shift in Yu-Gi-Oh! Once we start hitting the Shining Darkness in 2010. And it's going to become apparent very quickly, and I think we're going to start to see why so many people kind of clamored for Edison format to be longer than like a time span of 2 to 3 weeks, because the decks we're playing now were the best decks for how long were we seeing? Like 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, and not all of them. In fact, the deck I'm playing gets considerably less good, and the deck you're playing, I don't know. There's also another Spectre on the horizon, which will take people a couple of months to figure out. I guess I would say ribbit, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was alluding to that in my deck portion, so we'll be showing that off very shortly, I imagine. Buddy, I'm ready to get into it if you are.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's go ahead and shout the patron. It is Edward Shell. Thank you for the support. And Joseph, I'm going to be so kind and let you determine the method of randomization for today's rock, paper, scissors. So what are you feeling, buddy?
I liked that last one. I am holding up a number again. What do you think? Odd or even?
I'm going to go with odd.
Alex, the number that I'm holding up is the number of cards I'll have in hand. 0.
0?
Let's go. I think that's even.
All right, buddy. Congratulations. Infernity going first. Oh, boy. This is going to be a very exciting turn 1 for us. Good luck.
It's going to be a very exciting turn 1 for the editor. They're going to have to cut out a lot of thinking. Oh, God. They're going to have to cut out a lot of thinking. Can I neglect to draw my first card?
No, sir. That is against game mechanics, so please do so. And for the sake of my sanity and hoping you brick, please draw your card.
Okay, I'm going to set 2 and pass.
Explosive start for the Infernity player. That's exactly what we'd like to see. I'll draw anything in standby.
No.
Okay, I will go to main 1, and I'll start by kicking things off with an Upstart Goblin.
That's fine. I'll take my 1,000. Thank you very much.
Yep, oh, of course, buddy. And I just wanted to do something super nice for a good friend. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and summon XX Saber Bogart Knight.
Okay, let's read this card. You can normal
so
an
Bogart
XX
Knight.
Saber. That's fine.
Bogart Knight allows me to special summon a level 4 X Saber monster from my hand. Is that fine?
That's fine.
Yeah, so with Bogart Knight, I'm actually going to run out a... This is a tough call. I don't really want to run like more stuff into like Torrential if you have it, because that's kind of gross, but I guess I'll run out this Dark Soul.
That is fine. There's the boy.
Yeah, I mean, it does allow me to kind of hedge against it. It doesn't give me any more damage, though, which isn't fantastic. So I'm just going to swing for 19 here.
I will take it.
And then second main, I like what you did, so I will also set a pair and pass to you.
All right, end step, I'm going to Dust Tornado targeting this card.
You fool. It was my Mystical Space Typhoon. Would you like to go again?
No, I'll draw for turn.
Okay.
Stand by me.
All good.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to activate Infernity Inferno.
What the fuck is this? I don't think I've ever seen this card in my life.
Yeah, get excited. This is a card and a half.
So you get to discard up to 2 cards and send the same number of Infernity cards from deck to grave. I could see why early Infernity builds would play this, I guess.
They played this one the whole time. Okay, we're gonna send Infernity Beetle and DD Crow.
Sure.
All right, and then we are going to bin Infernity Necromancer.
I know that one.
And Infernity Avenger.
Okay. I'm familiar with this one, too. So I'm still with you.
I am going to activate Foolish Burial.
All right, so we're going to get another dump here. Is this where you go for the Archfiend is the question?
Unfortunately, it is not. This is where I go for the Plague Spreader Zombie.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
I'm going to trigger the effect of the Plague Spreader Zombie.
Gonna put a card on top.
And then I'm going to set 1 and pass turn.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm able to gather here is that you're trying to set up for, at the very least, the Avenger. Because if I kill the Plague Spreader, then you can trigger Avenger. All right, I'm gonna Dust Tornado this in the end phase.
All right, it is Heavy Storm.
Okay, didn't really need that. So then we will draw.
Yep.
Plague Spreader is only 200 defense, which is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon XX Saber Fullhelm Knight.
That's fine.
This would be cool if I had something in my graveyard to resurrect, but unfortunately I don't. Hyunlei would be nice to make here if you actually had some back row for me to pop.
Yep.
That's annoying. All right, I'm gonna sync up here. I'm gonna sync up the Dark Soul with the Fullhelm Knight, and we're gonna go for a good old Goyo Guardian pre-errata.
Yep.
That will trigger my Dark Soul in the end phase, so I just need to remember that. I mean, what am I scared of at this point? You can get the Avenger from your grave, which is annoying, but it's not like the end of the world. You have no cards at this point. You've used the Plague Spreader, so it's going to get banished here. Yeah, I guess I'll just go to battle. Let's hit with the Bogart Knight.
Sure.
And then we'll hit for 28.
Sounds good.
Second main, I guess I'll just go to end phase, trigger that Dark Soul.
All right, sounds good to me.
And with the Dark Soul, I guess I will grab a Fall can be anything. X Sabers and XX Saber. X Saber means it can search XX Saber, correct?
Oh no, it cannot.
It can, because I always hate like this stuff because like sometimes this stuff.
If it were you searching an X Saber monster or if yes, an X Saber. Oh wait,
counts as an XX Saber, but an XX Saber does not count as an X Saber, correct?
So I think that you can search an XX Saber with Dark Soul. Yes.
Okay, so X Saber both counts as X Saber and XX Saber. This is one of the fun things Yu-Gi-Oh does with its archetype names. I guess I'll just grab a Fall Troll. Like, that seems pretty good.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll grab that. And I will throw it over to you, my friend.
Comments. He lacks critical information. It is time to perform my handless combo! Boom!
There is the Infernity Archfiend himself. Sure,
all right, so I'll
fine.
trigger the effect of Infernity Archfiend in my hand. Because I have no other cards in my hand, I can special summon this card from my hand. And when this card is special summoned from my hand, I can add an Infernity card from my deck to my hand. Must have 0 cards for that one as well. We're going to grab Infernity Launcher.
That one seems pretty good.
It is decent, yeah. Did we not send Mirage? Boy, I'm dumb. We'll activate Infernity Launcher here. I'm going to declare the effect of Infernity Launcher. I will send it to the graveyard, targeting the Infernity Beetle and the Infernity Necromancer.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to grab Beetle. We're going to grab Necromancer. And then...
excuse me, sir.
What? No, you don't have DD Crow. Come on, you're playing it main. I guess
I do have DD Crow. Yes, this deck was main decking DD Crow.
All right, who do you want?
The question is, like, I don't really know what to go after here. Because, like, where does this combo go is what I'm wondering. Let me think. So, like, Necromancer can get stuff back, which is bad. Beetle can summon 2 more copies of itself, which is also quite bad. Beetle is also a tuner, too. Necromancer can get back the Avenger that you have. So I don't cut you off of tuner access. I am just going to get rid of... let's get rid of this Necromancer. Whatever.
I really needed you to not get rid of that one. Okay. Sure, fine, whatever.
Now, fortunately, you do get the other one. It doesn't fizzle the whole effect, as we confirmed.
Yeah,
so.
we spent a while in the tank on this one. Gosh. Okay, now I am faced with another issue, which is what the hell do I do from here? Wow, you really put a damper on my plays here.
That's what I'm here for, buddy.
Darn it. And this Bogart Knight has to have 19. You know, why wouldn't it have 19? First, we're going to, of course, trigger the effect of Infernity Beetle. Right, we'll get ourselves 2 copies of Infernity Beetle here. If you have a Nibiru and you're counting along, this is summon number 5.
Sounds good. I do not have Nibiru, so you may continue.
Big surprise, right? We are going to go Infernity Archfiend and Beetle to the graveyard. We're going to summon a Goyo Guardian.
Shocker.
We are going to go to the battle phase. We'll attack into the Bogart Knight here.
So I'll take 9. Would you like the Knight?
Let me just read Fall Troll real quick. It can't summon if I have one, right?
No.
That would be kind of sick, right? I suppose I will take Bogart Knight. Why not? And then in main phase 2, we will sync the Goyo Guardian and the Infernity Beetle off for an Infernity Doom Dragon.
Ooh, okay.
So the point of this card is first and foremost to be a 3000 attack body. Very hard for you to remove through an Infernity barrier. For instance, you can just walk over a beetle or something if you so desire. But here we're going to actually use its effect. We'll trigger the effect of Infernity Doom Dragon and we'll kill your Goyo Guardian, hitting you for 14.
That's correct.
So it's 14 off that and then what, 900 off the Goyo Guardian hit? Good. Okay, so we've got you to 5,700, and I believe that is all I am able to do. All right, you're good to go.
That was still pretty bad, even with the DD Crow. Make me regret that I got this Fall Troll, but I will go to main phase 1. We'll see if we can do anything about it. Doesn't look super likely. Got Bogart Knight, and you're drawing for turn with just 1 card, which, to be fair, in this deck is very scary.
I was going to say, like, obviously it looks like I'm way down on cards. If I draw an Archfiend, a Launcher, a Necromancer, or like a Call of the Haunted type effect, I win. Kind of
which there's a lot of in your deck.
I would say I have probably 10 draws off the top that win me the game, even if you out the dude.
I think my best move is to probably set one and throw it over to you.
All right, I will draw for turn. I will to the top of my deck, Archfiend number 2.
Please don't.
Nah, I didn't
Please
get it.
don't.
I didn't get it. That'd be crazy, right? Okay, I don't know what your set card is, but I imagine it's something stupid.
You gonna knock me, buddy?
I could Infernity Doomdragon here, just to be safe. The only thing that plays around, I think, is Raikou.
It does play around Emmer's Blade, I think, doesn't it?
There's no way you're on Raikou. I'll just go to combat here, Bogart Knight into your monster.
It is a Dark Soul.
Sure. Okay, glad I didn't do that. Let's go again for 3K.
I'll take the 3K.
All right, Gores? No, okay.
No, you're good.
That is going to be it from me.
Happy to hear it. End phase, actually.
Yeah,
Excuse
get
me.
your
Let me
Dark
put
Soul.
this back to the top of my deck. Yep, need to get my Dark Soul hit. I will grab a lovely copy of Bogart Knight.
Yep.
Shuffle up, and now I will draw for turn. I kind of wish it was the other card, to be honest. Okay. Main one, what can we do with this? So we're going to start by bringing out a Bogart Knight. I'm going to use the effect to special summon an Emmer's Blade.
Okay.
Then you already know I have this Fall Troll, so we're going to bring him out as well.
So I do.
I'm going to use the effect, and I'm going to target my Full Helm Knight.
Ah, that's unfortunate because the card I drew off the top of the deck is actually DD
Oh, come on!
I'm so sorry, buddy. That's rough, but
You know what? It's fair. It's fair. It happened to me, so excuse me, I did it to you, so I guess it's only fair that it reciprocates. Okay, well, then without a tuner, I guess we are a bit of a sitting duck here. I was actually going to be able to turn this board around, but it looks like that's not the case. I will go to battle here. I will...
You could run the Emmer's Blade in.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking about it. I actually have a play here. So I am going to... You said it. I am actually going to crash the Emmer's Blade into the Bogart Knight.
Take your 6.
And I will trigger the effect of the Emmer's Blade, and I am going to get a Full Helm Knight.
Sure.
Then I'm going to send the Fall Troll into the Bogart Knight, and you'll take 5. And second main, I'm actually just going to set one and throw it over.
All right. Draw. Stand by main.
Just duck any good card in your deck, which is highly unlikely, please. Always looking in the graveyard. That's not good.
I'm looking in the graveyard for plays, unfortunately. 2 turns to find Launcher or Archfiend or Necromancer or Mirage or nothing.
Which are all at like 3 at this point.
All right, I'm going to activate the effect of Infernity Doomdragon.
Targeting.
Your Fall Troll.
Sure. So I'll take 12 because it's half the attack, right?
Yeah. I sure wish I could attack your stupid-ass Bogart Knight, but Full Helm Knight kind of puts a damper on that.
Doom Dragon also can't attack the same turn, use the effect.
Well,
so there's that.
Sorry. I would instead go to attack Bogart Knight and win, because you're at 21, but Full Helm Knight can negate the attack, and then I can't activate Doom Dragon's effect. Okay, back to you, buddy.
All right, in the end phase, I will activate Gotham's Emergency Call.
Jeez, that's a good one. Oh, that's
Pretty
a good
good.
one.
Any 2 X Sabers from my grave, I get to special summon them. So we're going to bring out Fall Troll, and we're also going to bring out... God, I wish I had another tuner. That would be pretty sick. What do we want for the other one?
This isn't...
we will grab a Dark Soul here.
This isn't terrible. Like, it's kind of difficult for you to go through, like, a Black Rose line just because of the way this works.
Anything in standby.
No.
Okay, main one.
Yep.
I'm going to sync my monsters for a Hyunlei.
That is unfortunate.
I will use Hyunlei to attempt to pop.
It is a Starlight Road.
Ooh, only popping 1. Wow. Yep. Okay. I'm going to use the effect of Fall Troll to resurrect the Full Helm Knight.
Yep.
And then I'm going to sync the Full Helm Knight and the Fall Troll into an XX Saber Gotham's, which is 100 more attack than your Infernity Doom Dragon.
So it is.
Let's see here. I have not normal summoned yet, so I'm actually going to normal summon this Full Helm Knight. And I will go to battle and we'll hit with the Gotham's.
I'll take 100 here. I will bring back the Avenger.
And that makes this Avenger a level 8.
Yeah!
Don't know if that's going to matter, but, you know, it could. And then I will go ahead and swing with the Full Helm Knight into the Avenger.
Yep, and I believe you have got it. Let me check the top part of my
I
deck
would get to trigger the Full Helm Knight here, too. Anything off the top good?
Yeah, it would have done it.
Holy shit,
damn.
That would have done it. Oh my god,
Time
what a
for
game 1.
Combo, heart of the cards ass bullshit. DD Crow into Starlight Road. Kalen Kessler, how did you do it?
Well, the DD Crow at least slowed things down a little bit. So
I would have preferred to slow things down by ending the game. Oh my god, this is holy Guacamole. Yeah, I don't know about
Get
this
a combo off this time?
No. No. I'm going to set one card and end my turn.
Okay. This does not look like an Infernity opening, at least any that I've seen. Anything in standby?
No.
Okay. So I thought that this card that I was about to summon actually had an effect that does something completely differently than I thought. So I'm going to lead with Foolish Burial. So off the Foolish Burial, I'm going to go ahead and dump myself a copy of... Well, I mean, I guess I could get any of these. They would all be fine. It's funny. I want to dump Air Bellum, but you actually want no cards in hand. So I'm kind of not really incentivized to do that.
Appreciate an Air Bellum.
Yeah, let's actually just dump a Dark Soul.
Sure.
I think that's fine.
Seems good.
Then we will go ahead and normal summon this Fullhelm Knight, which I thought special summon from deck, not the graveyard.
God, could you imagine?
That would be so busted, but it does not. We will attack.
Well, unfortunately, it was an Infernity Archfiend. I should have just normaled him and attacked.
Okay, this will trigger. I will get the Dark Soul, but it's not really going to be doing much. It's really just to get the value on the field, if anything. I will go to second main. I could make a synchro play here, and I'm kind of feeling like I should, but I don't know what your back row is. I've only got a few options in the 6 department. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just make the Hyunlei go after the set.
All right. It is Gotham's emergency call, so I'll be taking those bad boys back if you don't mind.
Gross. I do mind, actually. That's nasty. Okay, now here's a question. How does that work? Did the Dark Soul already trigger when it hit the grave?
Soul, yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm.
Later, you would not have gotten the Dark Soul because this card was eventually
it triggers specifically in the end phase.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay. All right, so this gives you Synchro for a 6 of your own. I think I have to do this just so you can't just get like free fodder on the field. I'm going to mind control my Fullhelm Knight.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
And then we're just going to sync both of these off, and we're going to go for a Gothams.
Sounds good. Would you like to tribute himself?
I would not like to tribute himself to help you get closer to your win condition. I'll go to the end phase and resolve my Dark Soul.
Yeah. Go get your monster.
With Dark Soul, I guess I'll grab a Bogart Knight. Yeah, we'll go for the Bogart. We'll grab him.
Sure.
And throw it over to you. Go ahead.
Words cannot express how many live draws I have. I think 30 of the 35 cards in my deck win me the game right now.
Okay, let's see it. Was that one of them?
No! Oh. All right, I'm going to Vortex.
Lame. All right, well, I guess I should have ripped a card, but I guess you ripped 2, so I guess it got more value.
I don't know. I can't even attack for fear of fucking gores. Could you imagine getting owned that badly?
But it's 100 damage, Joseph. Imagine if this game's decided by 100 life.
All right, I'm going to normal summon Infernity Mirage and pass my turn.
Okay. We'll draw. Yep. Anything in standby?
No.
Go to main 1. Well, I wish if I knew I was drawing that, I would have done something completely different, but that is the name of the game. Okay. At the start of my main phase 1, I'm going to activate Cold Wave.
Cool. I'll Infernity Barrier.
Gross. All right. That's not resolving. Gets rid of another card. You need a second monster because you need to special summon 2. All right. Let's run out the Bogart Knight. I will not use the effect. I will just proceed to battle. I'm going to attack into... I'm really tempted to hit the Mirage, I'll be honest, but I don't really want to put more stuff in your graveyard. I think I'm actually just going to go after my own Dark Soul. This is so hard, Joseph. My brain hurts.
Okay, on enter battle, I'm going to Gotham's Emergency Call.
Again, wonderful. All right.
We're going to take...
Run them out.
XX Saber, Fullhelm Knight, and Gothams.
Gross. Okay. So now, because you did that at the start of battle, you can use the Fullhelm Knight to possibly negate an attack. It's not very exciting. Who's the X-Saber player here?
Whoa, by the way? Hey, I don't know what you're talking about,
If someone ran into this game and saw this board, they would just be at a complete loss for words. But I guess that's the fun of being able to side Gotham's Emergency Call against the X-Saber player. I am going to slam into the Dark Soul.
I'll trigger Fullhelm Knight here.
Okay, so you'll negate the attack. Sounds good. Second main, my hand is at risk of just being completely shredded here by my own Gothams, funny enough. So I guess I'm just going to set 2 cards and throw it over to you, my friend.
All right, stand by main.
All good.
Again, cannot overstate how many live draws I have off the top. I'm just not finding them.
It's okay, you don't need them because Gotham's Emergency Call is keeping you in the game.
I don't know. I'm just going to go for it. Let's X-Saber Gothams destroying the Dark Soul to rip the card out your hand.
I'm going to chain the Crow. I'm going to get rid of the Archfiend.
Well, better we had it now than later. All right, so what are your set cards? I'm going to read nothing important. I guess a Bottomless would be pretty bad here. I don't know how much crap you're actually on. Let's send... What's the punish? Godham's emergency call? That's a pretty bad one. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, though. I'm just gonna go to battle phase here and attempt to attack the Godhams into the Bogart Knight.
Sure, so I'll take 12 from that.
Yep. Second main, I will set one. Let's switch this bad boy to defense position, and you are good to go.
That's a third Godham's. I'm going to be very upset. I do get to trigger the Dark Soul. Oh, no, it's in my possession, isn't it? Oh, that would be so good. All right, well, I'll draw. Main 1. Staring down my own Godham's. Gotta say, Joseph, it's not very fun. All right, I'm going to brain control the Full Helm Knight. Going to switch him to attack position. We will go to the battle phase, and we will hit into this Infernity Mirage.
On enter battle, I will Threatening Roar.
Threatening Roar. Yeah. It's Dex on Threatening fucking Roar.
I gotta not die somehow, baby.
You know, I guess that's one of the ways. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I don't get a battle phase at all then. Second main. You know, I'll just set one. End phase. You get the Full Helm Knight. Go ahead.
All right. Stand by main. Holy
all good.
Guacamole. I don't know. Combat. Attack in.
So 13 and 31.
Yep. All right. Go ahead, buddy.
Can we get anything? I mean, that's something. I don't know if it's what we need, though. I will set and pass. Go ahead.
Stand by main.
All good.
I drew Archfiend for turn.
Oh my god.
Damn it. I should have emptied my hand. All right, we'll try for it. Archfiend into the set card.
It's Dark Soul, actually.
Oh, I'll go for it.
I've got a book for the Godhams.
Okay. Okay. And then we'll
so
go
we're living
for a Full Helm Knight.
I don't think it's gonna get us far, but we're living.
Okay, second main. Ooh, we can... If there was a 7 tuner, what do I want to do with all these random synchros I have on my side of the field?
You got the Archfiend, and you've got the Full Helm Knight. How about you make a Black Rose?
Ooh, that sounds pretty good, actually. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Unfortunately, Full Helm Knight is not a dark tuner, so I can't make 100 Eyes Dragon, which would be, I think, full combo? It would be close. We could make Armory Arm with the Full Helm Knight. That sounds really bad. And he's a dark tuner, so I can't go into Doom Dragon either.
See, so all your options are bad. Black Rose doesn't care.
I think we're gonna go these 3 to the grave, and we're just gonna make a Stardust.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Let me make sure that that's a legal play. All right, go ahead.
All right, end phase. Trigger the Dark Soul.
Godhams. Yep.
I don't even know what saves me at this point. I think what's so hard is that the only one of these that really special summons themselves is Fall Troll, and you need 2 of them out on the field in order for that to happen. I guess I'll take Emmer's Blade. It's fine. At least it does something. I'll draw. Main 1. I'll set something. Could be anything.
Stand by main. That's a thinker.
Every time you look into the graveyard, my heart stops.
This is a big old thinker. Wow, Emmer's Blade is an asshole of a card. All right, I'm gonna flip summon Godhams to the
Shocker.
Shock of no one. We'll go to battle. Well, now I wish I'd made Armory Arm. Let's get in with Stardust.
All right, trigger Emmer's Blade.
Yep.
I will grab another Emmer's Blade.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here.
Okay, we'll draw. Gross. I will set one and pass. Go ahead.
Stand by main. Oh my god. I go to combat and you get Ragigura. Can I kill you? I'll set one and pass as well.
Okay. During the end phase, I will Godham's Emergency Call.
Rough.
With said emergency call, let's grab... Probably want a Dark Soul, just to keep the card advantage train coming. And then I think I would also like a Full Helm Knight as well.
You'll get neither with my DD Crow! Get him out of here!
No!
If I'm not drawing starters, baby, I'm drawing DD Crows.
And this stops both of them because you have to special summon both to your side of the field, right?
I believe so.
You know, I had a glimmer of hope, and it has quickly...
I don't know. The Emmer's Blade is looking decent, too.
I mean, it's not bad, but it doesn't win me the game. I'll draw, I guess. Go.
All right. End step, I'll Infernity Inferno. We're going to go for 1 here.
Sure.
I'm going to send a fucking Necromancer, I think. I could also send Avenger. No, I mean, we want to draw Necromancer, certainly. I'll send...
And Necromancer seems like a great top deck, but...
I'll send Avenger. I don't want to draw that card. All right, ready?
Oh, good. Let's see it.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. We gonna try this again?
Oh my god. Yep, that's fine.
I don't know how good this is, if I'm being honest.
No tuners this time.
Yeah, no tuners make this not nearly as good. 300 life points, not great. All right, I'm gonna grab a Dark Soul. God, Gotham's is so big.
He's a big fucking chonker.
He's so massive. I kind of just want double Dark Soul, if I'm being honest.
We sitting. We out here
like,
sitting.
And just like walling up. Like I could get Hyunlei, but like Hyunlei doesn't do anything. Yeah, okay. We'll get Hyunlei. I don't know if I'm doing anything with this. We'll just grab it.
Sure.
All right, let's draw. Oh, well, that's something. Well, let's start this turn. I don't know how this card has sat here this long, if I'm being honest. I'm going to fire True Nade.
Oh my god, there's a True Nade on the field. That's a thinker. That is a thinker. What could you have in your hand that would make you go for something like this? All right, I'm going to Compulse here, targeting the... I think you can spend the entire board going into a Gotham's if you have a Full Helm Knight in hand. Or I can bounce the Dark Soul. You can normal the Full Helm Knight, go into it with Hyunlei, and retain the Emer's Blade. Yeah, I'm going to send the Hyunlei here.
Sure. So Hyunlei goes. I'm going to normal summon Rescue Cat.
Oh, shit! Yeah, that's fine.
This card's not bad. We'll sack it off.
Oh, of course, no fucking targets in the last 14 turns.
I'm going to grab double Airbellum here. I'm on 300 life, so I got to make sure I also don't die on the crackback. You have like 90% of your deck will probably just kill me.
I've had like 9 cards that win the game for pretty much the entire game now, and I haven't found them yet, so...
I think I need to make sure I sequence this properly, but I actually might be able to kill you.
From 8,000? Jesus.
We're going to special summon a Fall Troll.
Well, it had to be Fall Troll, yeah, that might do it.
I'm going to sink all 3 of these for a Mistworm.
Yeah, those are good ones. Yep.
I'm going to bounce both of your monsters.
Yep.
And then this is 49, 59, 65. So with Fall Troll, I just need to get something with 1,500 attack here. So I'll get the Bogart Knight.
Jesus Christ.
And I think we actually did it.
Yep. Let me see the Archfiend off the top. You gotta be fucking with me, dog.
Holy fuck!
You gotta be fucking with me, dog. Oh my god. Oh.
Any point I was dead.
At
any point I was dead.
Well, you know, c'est la vie, mon ami.
I was thinking if I was like, okay, I can make a Goyo, steal your Stardust, make Brio, pitch the Fall Troll to bounce the, what's it called? The Gotham's. And then I'm like, okay, that board's pretty good, but it doesn't kill you. And I know your deck has so many live draws. And then I remembered that, oh, Mistworm is a card. And yeah, I guess that solved it for me. Holy fucking shit, that was a game.
That will do it. That was a game. My god. Oh, you know, I feel like maybe if my draws had been a little bit better, I could have done this. 300, buddy. Jesus. But, nope. Certainly not like that.
Gotta chalk that one up to Emmer's Blade, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that was the old Emmer's Blade gaming.
Yeah, Emmer's Blade kind of kept me in that one. And let's be honest, both of us did not play either of these games optimally to the slightest, right? I mean, anyone who played from around this time, you know, shout out to George Girolando and all the people from back then. They're going to be watching this and be like, God, this is miserable. But
I thought I played okay, but yeah, certainly not as good as we could have, I think. Jeez, that was...
Yeah, and it's funny because the people watching this aren't going to see the unedited version of this, where you and I were making mistakes left and right. Not remembering that Bogart Knight can only be used for an X-Saber Synchro, and you know, just like we're just making all these like little things that misplays that mattered, and we're having to like take back the move and just readjust everything. And this is like, I feel like this is really the first time we've had to do this in an episode of this, just because it's 2 decks that are very combo oriented, but also play a control game. But they're also decks that we're just like super unfamiliar with at the same time, because like we're really in the thick of like when you and I both didn't play this game. And when you start getting into combo decks specifically, when that happens, oh my God, like it's so hard to find the line sometimes just because we're so unfamiliar with how everything works in the deck. Obviously we do our best, but I mean, this was supposed to be how it felt when people first started playing these decks, right? Because prior to this, you know, think back to Edison. Edison had, you know, bits and pieces of stuff like this, but I don't know. I feel like having to think like this far ahead, I don't feel like we had to do this in any of the prior episodes.
Yeah, certainly not. Infernity, unfortunately, is one of those decks where you put a lot of faith in the top of your deck. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. Game one, you know, I think we did have a pretty sick play game one that unfortunately just got a little bit interrupted. Game two was basically just carried by Gotham's emergency call, I'll be real with you. Like, pretty much none of my own work on this one. But I think these games showcased one thing that was just everywhere this format, which is everyone was playing DD Crow.
Yeah.
DD Crow is so unbelievably good, both against Infernity, it's decent against X-Saber, it's good against the Frog deck, it's even okay against Gadget because of the way Machina works. It was kind of the first hand trap that just ended up being played by everyone. And, I mean, you saw in these games how absolutely powerful it was. As an individual card. It prevented you from dying. It prevented me from dying to the first Gothams. It took the second one to take me out. For that reason, a lot of the decks like Infernity that are a little weak to this card just kind of peter out after this. Certainly, it's still around, but the story of the format after this event, this Washington, D.C. Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, is like decks like X-Saber kind of just run the tables, and the remainder of the format is trying to get a foothold.
If you want, buddy, we can try for another one real quick. We can do a fast and loose one. I'm game if you are.
Yeah, I do it.
All right, buddy, I will go ahead and let you go first since I took the last one, and let's see how this game 3 peters out. Maybe you just get to go full combo and just annihilate me, similar to how I did actually in the last Edison episode.
This is a decent one. I'll pass back to you.
We'll draw.
Oh, wait, hold up. I forgot my 6th card.
Oh, that's good.
In standby, I'll trap dust shoot.
Okay, sure. It's a pretty decent hand, actually. It's not, like, fantastic, but you guys just at least see what I'm working with here.
This is not great.
It's not great, but it buys me some time.
Wow. Transmigration Prophecy, huh?
Yeah, that's a nice little card from the side deck.
Let's go for Air Bellum here.
Yeah, I think between that and Dark Soul, I think Joseph, you don't want to go with Palomiro, buddy. I'm going to make you regret that decision. All right, we'll shuffle up. I will set a card. Could be anything. And I will set 2 back row, and we will throw it. I guess I'll just set 3. You know my hand, so whatever.
Standby main. All right, we'll go Infernity Inferno.
Okay. Still can't believe they played this card.
I am going to pitch Avenger and Beetle.
That actually seems pretty good. All right.
And we are going to send Archfiend and, I don't know, Archfiend. Okay, next up, I'm going to normal summon Infernity Necromancer.
Gross. Gets shifted to defense. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll activate Necromancer targeting Archfiend.
It actually doesn't target, it looks like.
Wow, this is
I think
crazy.
it's, yeah,
I'm pretty
so
sure it
you
does.
just, does it? It just
I'd
says
have to
select an
check.
Infernity and special summon it. Well, in any case, whatever the outcome is, I do have Transmigration Prophecy. You already know this.
Sure. What would you like to send back?
Both Archfiends, please.
All right.
You have nothing in hand anyway, but yet.
Let me see if... Oh, I can't activate Necromancer until I have no cards in hand, so we'll set that first.
Okay, well, yeah, there we go. So, yeah.
Let me see if this actually does target. Necromancer does not target.
That's pretty sick, though. That means you still get a summon.
Awesome. I'll get Beetle, I suppose.
Sure.
Anything at res?
No. Would you like to get 2 more Beetles?
I would. All right, we'll go for Beetle and Beetle.
They have emerged.
How do I want to do this? Let's go...
So you can make a 5 and then go into a 7.
Go Beetle and Necromancer to the graveyard for Magical Android. And then... Ooh, I don't even think I do that. This card's in here for when you're losing burn. I forgot that Catastor had been released by now.
Sure, that's fine.
What's the defense on that stupid card?
Palomiro is 300. Dark Soul is 100.
100, damn it. Then I will activate Launcher. I'm going to trigger Launcher here, targeting Necromancer and Beetle.
This is gonna get gross. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. And then I'm going to Necromancer. We're going to grab... is it Avenger here? 3. God, these levels just don't stack up correctly. Yeah, let's grab Avenger.
Okay. And he's just a level 1.
We'll go Necromancer and Beetle into Magical Android.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Android and Avenger into Goyo Guardian.
Sure.
And I guess we'll go to combat here.
Okay.
I'm going to attack with the Goyo.
So now, will this trigger the Dark Soul, even though you still get it?
I think it will.
I think it does as well. It seems like it would. Yeah, okay. So it's Dark Soul. Would you like it?
Yeah, sure. We'll go
All yours.
Cataster Beetle.
So this is 34 that I take from the 2. That's fine.
If Beetle was a 1, we could go into Mistworm here. But of course it is not, so we can't. Maybe there was a way to make Mistworm there. 5, 6, 7. If there was, I didn't see it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, no 10s or 11s at this point, so you are good to go.
All right, end phase Dark Soul.
Yep.
Don't know what we're grabbing. All right, let's grab good old Emmer's Blade. He was loyal in the past. Let's see if he continues to be loyal. I'll go to main 1. All right, I'm going to run out Emmer's Blade. I will go to battle and attempt to hit into your Beetle.
That is fine. I'll take 100 here.
I'll just pass. Go ahead.
We'll trigger Avenger Engrave. All right, I will draw for turn. Stand by main. How do I make Emmer's Blade miss timing? Does Armory Arm make Emmer's Blade miss timing?
You're also overthinking this. Cataster can just destroy him.
You have a Book of Moon.
I wasn't talking about that, Joseph. I was just saying that Cataster can kill him. I'm not solving the problem for you.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I can do it anyway, just because of how this works. As much as I want to make a 4 here, I don't think it's the play. Maybe it is. Okay, let's go Armory Arm. Battle phase. We'll go Cataster into Emmer's Blade.
I mean, I've got to do something about this. So I will, yeah, I guess I will book the Cataster.
All right, sure. We'll go Goyo here.
I will Wind Blast. Send the Goyo back.
Sure. Second main, I will set a card, and you are good to go.
Okay, we'll draw. Go to main 1. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I should have done that in reverse order because Cataster is going to be a pain now. All right, I will run out an Airbellum. I'm going to sink for a Brio. Brio with Prio. I'm going to bounce your Cataster.
Yep.
And then I will attempt to attack into this.
That is fine. I'll take 500 here.
Yep.
And we'll go get our Avenger.
That's all I got, buddy. Go ahead.
Nope. You're up.
Straw?
Yep.
Ooh. Oh, buddy, you're fucked. When I summon Ragigora!
That's a sick one.
I will activate the effect. I will get to add an X-Saber back to my hand. I will add... Oh, I don't even fucking know. Let's get the Emmer's Blade. You have a response.
I do, but unfortunately, I think this card doesn't target, right?
Ragigura does not target, actually. You're correct.
Is he a tuner? He's not a tuner.
He's not a tuner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Then I will proceed to battle.
Yep.
Attack.
Sure.
And then attempt to attack with Brio.
I will Compulse here.
Knew that wasn't going to be long for this Earth. Goes back to the extra deck. Second main. 1 Ragigura against Gotham's Emergency Call. Go ahead.
Could be anything. Stand by me.
All good.
Okay. I'll normal Dark Grepher.
Sure.
You don't do shit here. So I can go get an X-Saber Synchro Monster. Crazy. 7 into 8. Is there an 8?
I can't believe that Gotham's lets you get the synchros, too.
Right.
Like, that is just insane how there's, like, hardly any restriction on what that card allows you to grab.
I will Gotham's Emergency Call here. I get Airbellum and I believe Dark Soul. Nah, I'll just get Bogart Knight. Battle. We'll go Grepher into Ragigura.
Yep, so I take 15. I have to trigger the effect of Palomura or I'm dead, so I will do that.
We'll go Bogart Knight into that.
And I'll take 16 here, lose the card in my hand.
Yep. Second main, I'm just deciding if I want to go into a 7. The only 7 I have is Black Rose Dragon, so probably not. Yeah, go ahead.
Gonna need a big one to pull me back in, and I don't think that is going to do it. Go that. Yeah, no. I mean, I can normal this and then blank 1 attack and then get the Palomuro back, but you can just sequence it that I die and that doesn't happen anyway. So you got it, buddy. Good one. I didn't want to summon the Ragigura because I figured it played into the Gothams, but I also just literally like had nothing else going on, and so you just compulse Brio, and I'm basically like dead anyway. So
yeah, it doesn't like super play into the Gothams either because it doesn't target. Can I please get an Archfiend off the top? Dog, we gotta start playing these out. Holy fuck! So wait, What you're telling me, after drawing, I drew like maybe the worst I've ever drawn in history of Yu-Gi-Oh! This set. And then after the game concluded, my draws, game 1, Lethal Brain Control, game 2, Launcher, game 3, Archfiend. Sick, dude. Extremely
Unreal.
Sick. Oh,
Unbelievable.
Man.
And this is with everything maxed out as well.
I just
right?
didn't want it hard enough. That's the problem.
I guess not, buddy. I guess not. But I mean, I think we got to see your deck combo off a bit more. So at least we got to see a little bit more of what it could do. You got to go into multiple synchros. Funny enough, you didn't get to go into, the only one you went into was Infernity Doom Dragon game 1, which was sick to see. But you didn't get to go into 100 Eyes or any of the other cool stuff that this deck plays.
100 Eyes is kind of a pipe dream regardless. It can only be made with Fiend non-tuners, which means any of the ways that you can cheat out material is like, kind of sussy. It's got to be made specifically with Infernities. And in a scenario where you're able to like resolve a Mirage and then trigger the 100 Eyes getting the Mirage effect, I mean, you're already winning. You saw that time, this was the combo through the Transmigration Prophecy. We didn't even have an Infernity Archfiend in loop, just one Launcher, one Necromancer, and still did make a pretty formidable board there.
And to be fair, that's where the Infernity Inferno, I think, actually came in handy, because it pitched your Beetle and your Avenger to grave. And so even with shuffling back your Archfiends, which was still the correct thing to do, you're still able to go off with a couple Beetles and go into some synchro plays just like that. And then you're able to go ahead and use the Launcher to get the Necromancer back. We get to see why Necromancer's a crazy card, because it's a soft once per turn, so you can continuously just abuse the effect as long as you have no hand in tandem with Archfiend. The deck can just go nuts. And with Disruption, it makes it more difficult for that to be the case. But like you said, even through Transmigration Prophecy, we still got to see this deck go off quite a bit. So I'm happy we did the game 3 regardless, because I think it definitely showed a bit better for your deck for sure.
And I think you got to see over the course of this best of 3 why Infernity, in my opinion, just wasn't on the same level as like X-Saber. You know, the hate for this deck is immense. You know, this was a period when sideboard strategies weren't necessarily meant to be silver bullets against any individual strategy. They were just like general cards that could keep you up on advantage versus like more control-oriented builds and stuff. This is one of the first times where it's like, yeah, this card wins against Infernity. They literally can't out Consecrated Light. And it did its job between Consecrated Light, DD Crow, Transmigration Prophecy, Crevice into a different dimension, Thunder King Ryo. There is so much that Infernity had to contest in this format, and so little it could do about it. Even this one is on like main deck Book of Moon to beat 2 or 3 of those aforementioned cards, and it just feels very, very crusty.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have to shout the patrons as always, so big shouts to Shout1317, Mono, Cameron Smith, Chaotic Meatball, and Gayoko, Tim00x3, Ike Ironfang, Part 2, Pony Starkey, and Musa, Michael Dente, Dan the Manhoban, Synchro Guy, Ole, Mystic Walk, Sylvia Wild, Strayconic, Rockslide, Dollywop, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregor, Cole T, Thomas Nelson, Yusuf Ason05, Jordan Coons, Calvin, Iron Bladesman, Pure Ace, Jesse Wood, True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Hood, Lumpy, Nehru Celeste, David Lee, Rockley 325, Lane Rogers, Silent Agent 216, I Sign and Gren Maju and Salad, Sky Rose, Dylan Hunter, Brett Harvey, John 2 Base, App at the Astro, Brody Eastwood, Dace Zero, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Give Me Speedroider, Give Me Death, MBT's Hard Leg, Ashlyn Jensen, Cypher, Peon Perp6, TC Gaming, Matthew Brady, Edison Format, Ash Blossom Toe Sniffer, Dr. Solus, Max, and Tom Russell. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.